Hi, hello, and welcome to a brand spanking new C-Rat interview. I'm Dylan. That's Pat.
Great to be here. Permission to come aboard.
Permission granted. Joining us today is our favorite chef. She is our favorite chef, and she is. Are you calling her Z?
I just did that as a little short, like, hey, we're friends, so I can come up with my own name for you.
I. Okay,
Yeah,
you
she
can.
didn't give me permission to do that.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Like, if that is her nickname, and if you call,
Well, let me. I'll clear the air.
okay,
Clear
let's
this up.
clear the air.
Karina, is it okay if I occasionally call you Z?
Or really, better question: does anyone call you Z?
Loads of people call me Z or
Okay.
T,
There we
T
go.
bag, T pain.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's welcome T-Pain Chef Tsarina, aka Z. What's going on, girlfriend?
Oh, I'm just in Florida right now, hence why I'm looking like
A
a
kingpin?
lesbian pink thing.
Yeah.
By the way, head over to our YouTube page at Another Below Deck podcast to see the video, so you
Yeah.
can see her looking like a gay.
Flamingo.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so listen, we have so many cues, and that's short for questions, and we have so many other things that we have to get into. Um,
I'd like to start off by saying this is an amazing season.
Bravo to Bravo. You guys are really bringing it. The cast is bringing it. How was I know we can't talk about the future of the show, but how did this kind of like season feel? Did it feel like below decky? Because it's feeling very below decky.
I felt like the beginning of it didn't feel like below deck, and then almost as soon as Anthony left, it felt like below deck again.
Right.
Like watching it, but in it, it just felt like a anxiety stress ball of, am I going to survive this?
Right.
Well, having him there on the show was horrible for you. It was a wild time for us as a viewer. And I have
Yeah,
to say,
I think it
bravo,
was
thank God it
great,
only
great,
took you.
great for the viewers, and I
Yeah.
hope they enjoyed it. But I don't think it was good for him either. I don't think he enjoyed being there.
Well,
You know,
we have a lot of fan questions, but let's start off with the giant British elephant in the room, Anthony. He seemed well, let's ask you, what was the overall experience like for you, and then we'll dive deeper into it.
I mean, it was just very uncomfortable for me because I knew that I really needed someone, but the person that I had I felt like was on purpose making it harder for me. But yeah, it's a tough one because I think that because he comes from bigger boats, that he's used to being a sous chef where they basically do the head chef role and the head chef is in the office.
Hmm.
So I think coming onto a smaller boat, he just didn't understand what his job role was. And I've said to other people as well, like Google sous chef on 60-meter yacht, and I was asking him to do exactly his job title. And I think there's just confusion. And watching it back, I'm like, damn it, I should have just at the time realized that and gone on Google and showed him, like, when you're on a smaller yacht, this is what your duties are.
Yeah, hindsight's always 2020.
I just don't know what he was thinking once he took the position, because clearly, I mean, right out of the gate, I mean, you guys were bumping heads when you did that impromptu employee questionnaire in which you asked
Yeah,
with basically you generally, I have to say
day
this.
one, let's get to know each other. Met with, what the fuck is your problem? What are you doing?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, to be fair, those questions are generally when you're hiring someone that's going to sell software for you, like, "Hey, what's your favorite animal, and how will that make you a better coworker?"
Do you enjoy walks on the beach at sunset?
But he was a complete dick about it. So I don't.
I need to tell the truth. Like, I just need what I said by like straight strengths and weaknesses. If he says my ice cream's amazing, but my bread's shit,
Right,
brilliant. Well, I'm
right.
be making ice cream. You do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
that's all I needed to know.
right, right.
You know,
He felt
so I
like
know
it was
what
some kind
section
of
to put him on.
right. So when I watch him, I he strikes me as not an open water chef. He strikes me as somebody who wants to be in the Adderall fueled hustle and bustle of a traditional kitchen environment. Is
Yeah.
that where he came from and what he was trying to bring to the boat? Because that's not the way that these kitchens run.
Yeah, I think that, like, him saying as well, I think like he's worked in Michelin star restaurants. Well, at his age, he would have just been chopping carrots in the corner.
Right. Right.
Like I did the same when I was younger in Michelin star restaurants. I always said it was the worst experience I ever had. Like, unless you're a head chef and a sous chef in a Michelin star restaurant, you're not really doing or learning much. You're literally just an item there to do a job.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I actually generally feel like one day, because he is an incredible chef at what he does, but once he gets older and he learns how to, be around people and manage people properly, because you can't go in as a head chef with that much confrontation, that
Right.
I actually feel like he would be able to run a really good kitchen one day.
Yeah, he seemed
Like
really
his food's
talented.
good. Like
Yeah.
his food is so good,
Do
Right.
you know
but
how?
obviously a few slip ups here and there, but everyone makes mistakes, you don't have
Oh
to
yeah. I
point it
mean,
out.
busting open a sous vide bag is a little rookie, but
This is how I know I can pick a side and think that you were in the right and he was in the wrong with all this. What could you have possibly done to get him to stay on that boat? And the answer is nothing.
Nothing. I
yeah, I
think
mean,
the only thing I could have done is said, okay, do you want my role? And I'll be sous
That's
chef.
right.
yeah, I think that, another elephant in the room, let's just talk about, let's just call it what it was. I mean, I think that he had a fair amount of pushback, and you tell me, with you being a woman, I think that if you came down on him harder and maybe put him in his place, it might have worked if you had a penis, but I don't think that there was really any way to
Yeah.
navigate this successfully with that. Do you feel like there was any kind of misogyny coming from him?
I think it was on the last 3 days. That's kind of where I thought it was coming from. And I think it's just because I recognized it in my surf retreat. We hired a male chef, and I had to bring in my old sous chef to basically help manage him, because anytime I said something, he wouldn't listen to me. And I basically had to turn to my mate and be like, can you tell him this, because he'll listen to you? And it actually felt really similar. And I did feel like I never want to like go and run up to like Daddy Jason to ask for advice and help. But there were
Yeah.
times where I'm like, could you just ask him? Because he just, I don't know if it's a woman thing or just a full lack of respect.
I think he might have just been a complete asshole.
Yeah, and what was he, 22 years old,
Yeah, he was young, young, fun, full of cum.
Yeah.
And I think that, I just don't think it was the right fit, but for the audience, it was brilliant.
Yeah, when Pat says it was wild watching him, it wasn't, I mean, it was wild, but he means it was really fun and,
Well,
and great.
I'll tell you why, because a lot of the fun from the show is the kitchen and the food preparation and seeing if the chef can pull it off, and just adding an extra element of the drama within the galley. I mean, it only took Bravo 11 years to fucking figure this out.
Well, I mean, Bravo's great.
Right.
We love Bravo.
Mhm.
Bravo does some good seasons, and then some seasons,
Are
falter a little
sailing.
bit. But yeah, it's a lot of it has to do with the cast, and that's production. That's not Bravo.
Yeah, I have to admit, like, working this season was one of the hardest things I've ever done. Like, every single element for it was always like, God, that's a first. Like, God, I haven't fucked up that much before. Like, oh, that's another first.
Oh, I'm so
Even with
excited.
like the
I'm so
weevils and
excited to
everything
shit
at the
on you for it.
beginning. But every single day, I would basically wake up and be like, we better get that Emmy. We better get that Emmy. Like, I'm putting
Yeah.
in everything here. Like, if we don't get that Emmy, I'm going to be pissed.
If ever she froze, I'll talk while
She froze.
If ever there was a season where I feel that the show deserves an Emmy, it's definitely this season. We might have to. Oh no, Tzarina's still there.
Yeah, she's back. Okay,
Right,
she's
couple
back.
more questions, if unless Dylan has more to kind of round out the Anthony drama. How many actual days were you guys working together?
Great cue.
Ooh, God, I don't even know. It just felt like one long nightmare.
Yeah.
I think it was probably just under a week, I
Wow.
think.
Yeah.
Because it would have been two charters, and then when he began the next one, it was the first morning, wasn't it? And then I had two charters alone.
That's about right.
Yeah.
Lastly, have you spoken with them since the show aired?
Great cue.
No, not really.
Thanks, Sue. Yeah.
Not since it's aired. I think maybe him watching it back was, maybe quite a lot for him, and he's probably taking some time for himself.
Do you mind if you have had communication though after the filming?
Not yeah. After filming, we did like just a few memes here and there and everything.
Do you think that was his way of trying to make nice?
I don't know. I don't know.
All right.
To be
Well,
honest, like it's so far in the past now, and like I have a rule that I don't let like toxic people into my
Except
my
Joao.
energy.
well,
Huh?
uh,
Except Joao.
Joao.
No, not really. Like he came back with me, and then we blocked each other after the breakup.
Okay, you have good boundaries, and that's important. You know, if you imagine your life force like you have a hula hoop around you, for people to get in there, you gotta seriously pass some mustard, you know, and that's the way everybody should live. Anyways, we have a lot of questions to get into about the entire season. The fans are
The
voracious and
barnacles.
have many questions.
I want to start off by saying most of the questions today were submitted by the barnacles, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it, Z. The barnacles are rude, crude, and ill-mannered.
Yeah.
I believe most of them are incapable of existing in polite society.
Uh-huh.
But alas, Below Deck is one of their favorite shows. So,
Yeah.
so it is what it is. So should we begin with the questions?
Yeah,
for the
let's
barnacles?
begin with the questions.
Okay.
Then I'm going to pop in and kind of snipe and ask questions that I remember to ask every once in a while.
Now, I know nothing about cooking, and I actually like this next type of style of food, so I had no issue with it. But of course, I think quite a few people did, and we'll clear the air here. Michelle Henley and Melissa Baddock want to know what's with your obsession with soup?
Oh, wow.
So on the preference sheets, which I follow perfectly, they kept saying that they wanted to like traditional Seychelles food, which is curry soup. And so,
That humid climate.
and basically every single charter guest, that's what they were asking for because they wanted something traditional to the Seychelles. And like it got to the stage where I was like, if I get one more preference sheet saying this, I'm gonna actually explode.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I didn't want to
take that,
make it.
barnacle.
It wasn't like, you know, the style of food and stuff I exactly wanted to do. But the one thing I will say, and this is why all the guests like my food, is that I follow the preference sheets until I, you know, fuck them up with a vegan that I've forgotten about or something.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
when I write my menus, it's why it takes you so long because I'm literally giving them exactly what they asked for.
Yeah, it's probably a pretty good idea to do that just because they're paying for it. Quick question from me. You know, you and Jason had a little bit of a quarrel
Yeah.
episodes back where Jason was, you know, essentially asking you to just feed the sea rat scraps. Now, I'm not really too sure why you had such a robust issue with that. Just throw it on the floor and move on. I don't know what the problem was with you. What was going on there?
I at that stage, I like since the beginning of the show, like I was only running off 4 hours sleep a night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a heavy charter for me with sleep. And with the nights out, like we don't often get our meals on the table till like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And so
Right.
if I'm feeding them breakfast, the crew aren't going to eat till that time.
Yeah.
And I was just like, we can't get alcohol in us and not have a heavy lunch,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And it's just me more concerned about crew members, but also with Jason and I, like it's sorry, with Captain Jason and I, it's so difficult to have this boundary because it's like, you know, since filming the first season, like we've become really good friends. You
Right.
know, so then, you know, when we're in, you know, in Bali together or in Florida together, whatever, you know, I can talk back to him like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, when we're back at work and he has his captain hat on and I'm back tired, it's just like, you know, I want to be like, mate, like, don't fucking do this, you know, because I'm just used to
Mm-hmm.
being able to talk to a friend like that. And then I was like, gosh, Darren, like you just spoken to your captain like this, like he's your captain, he's not your friend. And getting into that mentality was really difficult for
The
me.
lines are blurred because you guys all hang out and party with each other when you're not on the show. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Jenny Fitzgerald wants to know, did a bigger kitchen make the job harder or easier?
Oh, that kitchen was horrible. Nothing worked in it. And I don't know if like any of the public can see, but I only had two hobs. The other back hobs weren't really working and they were the wrong way around. So I was basically cooking for that many people just on two hobs. The oven didn't work half the time. My bottom oven didn't work. The steamer didn't work. And I felt like I was actually camping. And then also because the boat stabilizers didn't really work, when you slowly rock like this, I used to have to wait to be able to open the big fridge door because if we're facing down, I just have to stand there until we're tilted that way so I can open
Oh.
it. Then when I'm inside, wait for it so I can open and close the door.
Oh
And
my.
it just made everything so time consuming. And I kept saying, I wish I had the last shit galley. At least it kind of worked.
Yeah, because I was a little confused as to why there was this sous chef position this year.
Same amount of gas.
Because you,
No, it's by law on a boat that size.
oh, it's by law and about that
Oh,
size.
it's nice to know this industry has laws.
Yeah, but it's more like, with maritime, when you're over a certain amount of like heaviness ton wise, you have to have a certain amount of crew and stuff. And they did cut off. I don't know what I'm allowed to say about this, but yes, some of the boat was cut off because obviously cabins aren't being used. So
Got
there
it.
was like a level cut off that wasn't used, so it was less guests.
Got it. Okay, so but you still needed the sous chef aboard. Okay.
Libby Jenna asked a great question. When you guys first came on the boat and you entered the galley, it was an absolute mitigated disaster. So who's at fault for that?
The chef before.
Ugh.
He needs his license taken away. He shouldn't be allowed to. That was, I've seen small infestations before that I've had to navigate around and clean out and do the right steps to get rid of them. In my whole career, I've been a chef for 17 years. I've never in my life seen something like that. And that shot me back like 2 days as well. And I never felt like I could like catch up on myself.
Was it weevils?
Yeah, weevils. So they're like these bugs that get inside like pasta packs and rice and flour and stuff. And if it's a bad infestation, like you can tell because the whole bag of sugar or something will be moving. And they basically populate so quickly, and they can nibble through little bits of plastic and cardboard and get in there and just mate and make loads of them so quickly.
Jesus
Good
Christ.
God, man. Planet
It's
Earth, huh?
horrible.
Hey, Tzarina, Planet Earth, huh? Let's get to some more questions.
Oh, sure. If you could make this is Shelby Zeider. She's been with us forever. She wants to know if
Hi, Shelby.
if you could make your guest dinner without using any of their preferences. Basically, you get to make it. What would you make them?
Just order them at McDonald's probably and have a break.
Yeah.
Deliveroo or Uber Eats, you call it here. Oh God, I don't know. I specialize in nutritional Middle Eastern food, so they'll probably just get loads of healthy Middle Eastern food done for them.
Right. So kebabs,
But nicely done and gut friendly.
tabboulehs, all that
I
stuff.
love tabbouleh. Yeah.
I'm sorry to digress back to Anthony again. I'm just fascinated. Melissa McCann says, can you confirm rumors that quote unquote job Anthony left the boat for, his new job, that actually didn't pan out?
No, it didn't happen. I think he was just using it as an excuse to go.
Oh, he's a liar.
What? That wasn't a real job?
Well, I allegedly,
Holy smoking.
well,
Wow,
he's
that's
a
real.
pretty dodgy little character, that one.
Yeah, he was a pretty dodgy little character, that one, I would say.
Yeah, but that's allegedly. Who knows?
Are we going to get to
Yeah, we'll get to him.
All right, we got to get to the
Okay,
wee man and
all right.
Tzarina's love for the wee man.
Anna Gilsek and Pat wants to know, was he sending mixed signals? I mean, clearly, I just saw the episode that hasn't aired yet, but clearly there's an understanding. I don't want to. Well, this is released after that episode. You basically have an understanding that he's a fucking player, and you don't care.
I don't give a shit. I think, there's the 24 hours to the day, and you guys see probably like 30 minutes of it. But Vianne and I were like, more like, I don't know, like without the sex, like kind of fuck buddy types, just like playful, funny, and also like with no sleep at all, locked like in a kitchen all day, and he's locked outside in the heat. Like sometimes you just need some oxytocin and someone to give you a hug and be like flirty just to make yourself feel good. And I think that we were those people for each other, like just start like craving just like some sort of affection. And I think we kind of had that same understanding of like, whatever, let's just use each other a little bit,
So, Barnacle Ashley Straight. I can't read her question because it's so rude.
Let
me reword it. But basically, she wants to know, because she hasn't seen the newest episode where that's clearly laid out that you have an understanding with Vianne, but with Elephant Bone Man.
Oh
You
yeah.
clearly had romantic feelings for him. Have you heard from Elephant Bone Man?
Oh, Joelle.
Joel, yeah.
He actually, for the first time on a different number, because we hadn't spoken since, I guess, like 2 years, he on a different number sent me a message just when Watch What Happens Live came out. So I guess like 5, 6 weeks ago, saying, "Thank you for being so nice about what you said about me." And I was like, cool.
Okay.
But we
Did
haven't
you-
spoken on the phone or anything or properly like messaged back and forth. It was just very much like, thanks for that. And I
I
was
don't
like,
know. I don't know how much you listen to our podcast, but I don't. Are you familiar with the CRAT SAD scale?
no.
Okay, so the CRAT SAD scale, a lot of people on Below Deck have really, really tragic and almost made up stories that are extremely traumatic. And Joao's was, I think, ranks number two. Were you aware that his family was tied up and his mother was hit with an elephant bone?
I don't know if you're giggling in the background. Sorry.
Oh no,
Yeah,
No, Pat's not giggling.
no, it's sad.
That's really sad.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I know all of that, but I know this is going to sound really terrible to say. I'm probably going to be probably hated for this, but I don't know actually a South African with a story that isn't like that.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
That
Okay.
like
Yep.
even like my best mates, a married couple, they had to move to Palma because that them and their parents were tied up with a armed burglary and like guns to their head and everything.
Got it.
Oh.
Got
Like
it. So it's
it's
tough. It's tough out
But
there.
to be fair, I did give it a 3 on the C-Rat SAT scale. So
yeah, I mean, I think
Yeah.
this is why there's so many South Africans in the yachting industry because they're really trying to run away to give their family like a better life,
Got it.
you know?
Got it. Well, Cape Town, live strong.
okay.
It's
Let's see.
amazing though. You do have to go to Cape Town. It's one of my favorite places.
I wanna eat bunny chow. It looks really good. I want to try bunny chow.
You need biltong. That's what you need.
Biltong.
Katie Lusender wants to know, would you
You know what
prefer
biltong is?
what is it?
Like do you eat jerky?
No, I hate jerky.
You hate jerky?
No.
You're like biltong.
Mm-mm.
Is it bad on your tummy or you just don't like it?
I don't. You don't try not. I'm trying to be a vegetarian.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and last night I learned these cocktail drinks I've been making and drinking in a can. They're 200 calories a can. No wonder my fucking face looks like a basketball.
Yeah, well,
I'm gonna quit those starting now.
I could have told you that. I think you need to go back to light beer. I mean, it's
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's okay. So, anyways, we've got. Sorry for
Oh,
that.
so
Sorry, we just had to have a quorum
Right.
with each other.
It's fine. It's
She-
fine. It's not like you only have limited
Barnacle
time
wants
with
to
me
know,
or anything.
would you rather be alone in the kitchen or have a soup?
I mean, I love having a sous chef because I normally feel like the ones that I pick and interview, I have incredible relationships with. And I actually learn so much from my sous chefs, and also being alone in the kitchen makes you go a bit crazy.
hmm
But you have
Yeah.
people popping in all day.
Well, not really. You do have hours and hours and hours on your own.
Let's just let's just extend the pause for a little bit. Let's just have a moment of silence and
Oh.
just sit in this silence for a little bit.
Froze.
Oh,
Okay.
I think the connection went. Did you ask me another question?
No,
I asked
no,
you
no.
3 more questions.
No.
Can I jump in with an inquiry? Well, I want to get to like some food stuff with you, but when I see you and Johnny together, I see a notebook like love. I see that he's we see later on in the season that he's violent towards cabinets and he was kind of an asshole in the first episode, but Johnny has really really warmed up and he's a very very sweet guy. Was there any like romantic temperature of any kind with Johnny because he seemed so sweet and he's so doting to you?
I'm spending a lot of time in the kitchen washing dishes for
Yeah,
you.
he seemed like he liked you.
I don't think he liked me like that. I mean, he is just one of those really nice people, and I think he saw me like his weird older sister.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know, like oh, it's okay, like we love her, that sort of
Right,
thing, or
right,
like
okay.
don't talk to you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
no,
Like,
he's a gorgeous guy, my lord, like so handsome and so
yeah,
nice, and I think I actually had my most laughs with Johnny.
yeah.
Like
He
really,
he
really
seems
cracked
like a
me up
really,
all the
really
time.
sturdy Greek.
Who did you have the strongest relationship with as far as the interior goes?
Um, I mean, probably Brie. I still talk to Brie a lot, but
Yeah,
I
Big
feel
Red.
like I this season, like I was in that galley for 20 hours a day, and I didn't feel like I could properly connect with the crew on the nights out because I was so tired. So it was actually a very lonely season for me for friendships, and I was trying to like, put so much into that galley because I did struggle with it. I'm not going to say I'm an incredible chef and I can handle any kitchen and all of this. Like it was a tough season for me work wise.
Got
So
it.
I don't actually feel like I had real time to like bond and get to know friends and relationships like I did my first season.
Because
I
you were
actually
just
felt more
buried.
isolated.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, can I get into stir some shit real
Of
quick?
course. Are you gonna give her? She's our friend. You're gonna give her a hard time?
No, I'm not going to give her a hard
Okay.
time. Laura, when I want to talk about your guys' relationship because you seem very friendly towards her. She seems kind of cold and friendly, distant to you. When she did her talking heads about you luring men into your cabin with treats, I was a little grossed out. I thought that was a scumbag move
On her part.
on her part. What is your guys' relationship? Because she seems to be a little bit mean girly towards you, and we're just a little bit protective of you.
Oh God, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing the comments come out, making me feel really naive, you
Yeah,
know?
You're talking about
Be-
the voiceovers that she did that we see that you didn't know that she was saying those
yeah.
things about you. Okay.
Like a lot. I mean, the whole weird Barbie thing, like fucking brilliant. I'm gonna make that my merchandise. Thank you for
sure.
making me some money.
Right.
But it's like the luring because that for me in particular kind of hurt a bit. And the boy actually, I probably can't say his name, but I've screenshot the messages just in case people said anything about it. He messaged me after watching the episode, being like what the hell? Because we were all in the crew mess. And I was like, oh, should I go and do this? And she was like, oh, I'm going to go get the candy. This would be hilarious. And my sous chef was like, okay, then we can tie it to some string and put it
Wow.
along. And it was like a really funny thing that her turning it into like this malicious thing because I was actually in a relationship with the boy on the boat next door and just like messing around, making jokes and stuff. And
Huh.
I was like, you've made me into being like, I get my claws into people when I'm actually like, I know it doesn't really come across this way on the show, but like, I've been single for a very, very long time, and I keep myself to myself. I keep everything with like dating and stuff very much out the public eye, making me look like a predator. I was very taken back, especially because on my first season, I was like such a voice for anti that, and I kind of felt like she was trying to take that away from me.
As
But yeah,
someone, oh, sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
no, it's fine. But yeah, I think there's going to be more bumpy things coming up that I need to kind of prepare myself for. But
Yeah. Well,
Fine.
yeah,
have fun with
She
that.
seems
Yeah.
like a hard worker, detailed, very detailed person. Also very cold and kind of shut off to me. At least
yeah,
those.
which I don't understand because we had been friends for so long, and like even before going on, like I think it's like a few weeks before, she like called me up, going, "I'm so excited. We're going to be the best dream girl team. Like I love you so much. Like I'm just so like glad that we get to do this together. I'm like really pumping me up. Like I love you, and all of this to come on and instantly be like, mm.
Ah,
And I was like,
Yeah.
who's this person?
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Yep.
like
We're getting weird
it was
vibes.
it was a shock for me.
have
And
you
Laura,
spoken?
No.
Okay.
all right. Well, Laura, if you'd like to come on, we'd love to talk to you. I mean, respectfully. Okay, couple more
Please do.
questions, and we'll let you go.
All right, Mary F. Kill. This is gonna be very telling.
We always do MFK. Are we going to ever retire this or?
No, this is part of their show that we implement in our show.
Okay. Okay.
They always play this game in the
Right.
van.
Right. Right. Okay.
Yeah, this isn't some
Oh,
misogynist
that's
ploy
right.
to
That's
get her to
right.
talk about sex. All right, Harry, Johnny Vihan, Mary F. Kill.
Oh, I'd probably marry Johnny.
Oh, okay. Not Harry, huh? That's the one I thought was a coin flip.
But the thing is, I'd probably kid him because he's like a younger brother.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, it's a tough, it's a real
know?
choice, but you have to kill Harry.
Yeah, but
in
that means you either have to
situation.
have sex with Harry or kill him.
Yeah, I know. She doesn't want to have sex with Harry. It's a little brother,
Yeah.
you know?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
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 like he really is like my brother. Like
yeah.
I would
Huge porn
fucking
category.
if anyone laid a finger on that boy, I'd fucking go mental.
Yeah, me too.
Like
We
I am
love Harry.
I'm a wolf with that boy.
Okay.
Like it's yeah, he's a good one. But yeah,
So
so then obviously fuck Thehan because I mean I have eyes and a body and I'm on testosterone cream at the moment. So
Right, right, right.
okay,
Yeah, no. He's quite a little butt plug of muscle and blonde.
I'm gonna have some fun here.
All
What if
right.
I threw out Johnny and I put hot Captain Jason in there
Oh,
and
wow.
Harry
Wow.
and Vihan?
I mean, why would you do that with Jason and I? Because I feel like I don't know if I just want one night with him or like the rest of my life. I feel like
Right.
that's
That's why it's
Yeah.
F.
question.
I want the rest of my life with Jason too. Hot ass Captain
I
Jason.
didn't like him in that kimono. He looked ridiculous.
Okay, so you don't have to answer that. Can I ask you, can we go through some like all right. So I was just at a restaurant that did first come, first serve. So when you walked into the restaurant, there was no maitre d', there was no real wait staff of any sort. It was a kind of anarchistic, fend for yourself restaurant, and it drove me insane and kind of made me rethink what humanity is capable of.
Dylan, now can you explain this? Because you've used that first come, first serve. Most chain restaurants, for example, like a Subway, is in fact first come, first serve.
Yeah, so like a Subway
But a fancy restaurant
is first come first serve, right? If there are tables filled, then and you want to punish yourself and indulge in self-hatred and eat under those fluorescent lights, and the tables are taken, you form a queue and you wait, and it's kind of everybody's fend for themselves. But when you go to a nice restaurant, it's usually not like that, right? Because that's fucking insane. If you went, like, what are some of your pet peeves when it comes to restaurant trends or culinary trends out there? Because there are a lot of crazy ones cropping up.
I mean, I am very much like I'm just very happy if I don't have to cook myself.
Yeah.
But for me, like I wouldn't say it's any trends and stuff because I don't really go to many trendy places. Because I've been very much off the grid for like a year.
Yeah, you're like Jesse Ventura.
Especially Ventura. But yeah, my big thing is just service.
Yeah.
Like I have a rule in Europe because Spain is renowned for having terrible service. That if I ask for the bill and they haven't bought it within 40 minutes, I just walk down the road and they can chase me.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
the thing in Europe. Like everything, the service is like okay, and then you get to the end of the meal, and then people just disappear, and you're like, I'd like to. This is the part where
I think that's because there's no tipping there.
this is the part where you did all that work for this moment, and now you've left.
I think, yeah, but also I think like tipping in America now is just getting a little bit too ridiculous. Like,
Yeah. Well, at the first come first serve restaurant, they did expect a 20% tip.
did they?
Oh, 100%. Least favorite foods. You have foods that you just find absolutely disgusting. You won't touch, won't cook.
I actually had something really weird last night, and I don't know if this is this because I'm like neurodivergent and it's like a texture thing for me.
Sure.
But it's I got this chocolate milk and I went to have a swig of it out the bottle, and it was like almost like thick pudding.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah,
I was just,
sure,
it,
sure.
it was horrible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. 98% fat.
Dill, do you mind if I roll through a couple quick?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Anna Andelsek wants to know because she doesn't follow you on Instagram. She wants to know what do you
tell
do?
her to follow me?
All right.
Follow her.
How do you follow? How do?
She'll find her.
Well, she should give
You
her a
press follow. It's quite complicated. It's,
okay.
It's Chef Tsarina.
She wants to know what you do off season. Do you just come back to land? Or are you always working on these sea vessels?
Well, no, I've just taken a year off yachts. I actually had I kept it all out the public eye, but I had quite a insane surgery in September.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You were
So-
talking about that last time we saw you.
Yeah, so I had to do another surgery basically. So I've just been really focusing on my health and not
How
wanting
are
to
you
push
feeling? Are
myself.
you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm actually doing okay. My hormones are still like crazy, and I've had migraines for like 4 months,
Cool.
which has been really annoying. But I'm actually feel like I'm just coming out of it. I just got a new doctor for my hormones and everything. I feel like slowly. The only weird thing is that my tits hurt so much.
Mine too, girlfriend.
Yeah, and but I'm hoping it's growing pains because I've been waiting 33 years for tits. So I'm
Yeah,
hoping
yeah,
this is the year.
yeah.
Two more questions, Chef Tsarina. Is there a below deck cast member that you'll never work with again? I can think of one.
I can think of two. I just don't know which one's worse. Yeah, probably Anthony.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow. That bad, huh?
Okay. Well, we saw it play out. Uh,
Yeah.
lastly, what's the craziest thing you've ever seen happen on a charter?
Probably on below deck or just off.
Just
Just
off,
off in
off.
general. Craziest. I can't believe I just witnessed this.
I did see there's my owner got a load of prostitutes on,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and they were all in the hot tub, and they didn't actually light it, but they put a firework up her butt,
Oh,
which
Uh-huh.
yeah, that was a bit disturbing. And then
Sure.
I
in the
went
hot
up
tub.
because apparently they like asked for food or something. So I got out of bed and came up. Was like, what the hell's happening? But then the worst part about it is that in amongst all these naked prostitutes in the hot tub, I saw my captain's bald head pop up.
Okay,
Oh,
got it. Got it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, we asked that question to everybody, and it usually has something to do with rich men hiring sex workers.
yeah.
So yeah,
I
it's a
know. I know.
really
I wonder what like they get paid and stuff because I'm thinking like they just have to do that for 1 or 2 nights a month probably, and they get paid the same amount as me. And I feel
yeah,
like I'm
Hope
in the
those one or
wrong.
two nights a
I'm in the wrong
year.
industry. Hopefully these tips come in. I can
No,
start
you're too
doing
talented a
that.
chef, but I got to tell you, I've been thinking about it too. Not that there's a big market for it, but we'll see.
Don't sell yourself short.
Chef Tzarina, thank you so much for joining us. We love seeing you on the show.
Love it.
Next time you're in Los Angeles, we will go out and make another salami rose. Tell people
Yeah.
where they can find you.
Oh, I deleted my TikTok, so it's just Chef Tsarina on Instagram.
Go follow, hit the follow button. The color will change. That's how you know it has worked. Serena, we will talk to you soon and
Thank
enjoy
you.
viewing you the rest of the season.
Thanks, Serena. It was really good talking to you.